Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And I'm here to talk to you about the Infinite Tarot and the Kickstarter that we're doing for the Infinite Tarot, which you can find at tarotai.com. And we've talked several times about the Infinite Tarot. If you've been following our broadcast, you already really know what it is, but I'm going to reiterate a little bit. It is the infinitely expandable and personally customizable tarot. And it starts with the base of the Tarot of Hecate, which was expanded to begin with cards such as the Soul and the Extra Suit of Lamps. And it continues through the many expansion decks such as Runes, Numerology, Muses, which we talked about in more detail last night, Astrology, both Western and Asian, and offers many expansions that you can add to the deck to personalize it and make it your own. You can take cards out, you can put cards in, you can even create a card that is unique to you, or create a card that gets added to many different decks. The back is always the same. It is the sign of infinity, but what's in the deck is as unique as the reader. And I think this is a wonderful thing. And it's an outgrowth of the practice of people using multiple decks in the same reading, using decks in divinatory ways in their own right, things like the Destiny's Design system of tarot reading, and a variety of things that have led to it. And if you've been watching the readings we've been doing here, you can see when I've added some of the expansion decks to my base deck, how easy it is to use. And for me, it makes it a more creative experience. It adds new and different elements that I find very stimulating to my psychic senses, because like many people, I do react to the artwork in the cards, even if in this case I did it myself. And I find that it expands my creativity in the reading, and therefore also the accuracy and the range of the reading. And I think you'll find the same. It does not make it any harder. In fact, I think it makes it easier. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that, if you see this back on a deck, you know that the reading that you're going to get is not going to necessarily involve a deck like any other that you've seen this back on. It can be very different. Of course, there'll be some shared elements, but that difference, I think, is the strength of the deck. And I believe we had some people who had expressed an interest in having readings tonight. I don't know if any of them have joined us, but if they do, we'll bring them on and do a brief reading for them. If not, I'll probably do some brief readings just in general.
So I have a question.
What question do we have?
There was a you're using different types of divinations system.
Yes.
Is that really tarot, or are these oracle questions? Oracle cards. I'm sorry.
Well, to a certain extent, it's a semantic question. People use these words in different ways, but what I would say is that if you look back to the original tarots, which certainly have some bearing on the matter, you will notice that the oldest existing tarots are not the traditional 78 card tarot we're familiar with. They are varied according to the tastes of the people who commissioned them. They were made by hand, they were painted by hand, and they often include a variety of additional major arcana cards that we would not see in later tarot decks. And some of the ones that we've included in the Infinite Tarot would have been very typical in that first couple of centuries, things like astrological signs, planets, muses, etc. And so in a way, it's a very new idea, but in a way, it's actually very, very traditional if you look back to the origins of tarot. And not only that, but if you look at the history of tarot, this is not the first time tarot has had a major change. And people brought up the same issues many times. One that I often like to point out is that during the French Revolution, when all things monarchical were banished from French society, tarot underwent some interesting transmutations because there's so much royal symbolism in it. But they changed it and they kept right on using it. If we want to look at the different suits, those have changed in use according to time and place. And of course, perhaps one of the greatest revolutions in the use of tarot was Pamela Coleman Smith and the Waite Rider Smith deck about 100 years ago, which introduced the idea of using pictures to illustrate the minor arcana pip cards, which had not generally been done before, and totally revolutionized in some ways the ways that tarot is read. So tarot has had previous evolutions that did not stop it from being tarot. It merely expanded it. And I don't see why this would be any different personally.
We just had Fluff, and he just disappeared.
Oh,
Um,
hi, Fluffy. Come back.
Okay.
We always enjoy talking to Fluffy. So I'm going to draw 3 cards for the energy of the day. I suppose actually I should draw 3 cards for the energy of tomorrow because today is almost over. And we're going to draw first the Queen of Coins, second the Prince of Coins from a totally different part of the deck, and third, Judgment. And I would take these as very, very positive cards, and we'll turn them around for you. And the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Coins, represents prosperity. Prosperity in a variety of different ways. It can be monetary, it can be being in a good, strong, stable, happy situation, but it's being in a positive place and having enough prosperity, both financial and emotional, to share with others. So it's shared prosperity specifically. The Prince of Pentacles represents slow but steady development. So it says that things are moving forward in general. They're not rushing. It's not a raging river. It's a slow-moving stream. So in other words, a tranquil day. Queen of Pentacles, again, also stability, being in a good, strong place, steady development, and Judgment is getting what you've worked for, what you've wanted, the decision of the universe in your favor. So I would say that for the general energies of tomorrow, it's going to be a very positive day. I'm going to draw one more. And it's the Four of Wands, which is achieving a goal that has been worked for, and therefore follows along with Judgment. And I'll turn the card around and reference the story in it. And in the story of the Four of Wands, the 2 protagonists marry at this point, or otherwise unite, depending on the deck, of course, in an achievement of the main protagonist's goals from the start, moving forward in his life and society. So it's a day of calmness, but also achievement. So a very positive day overall. And do we have any? So that's for tomorrow. And
tomorrow you have Chancellor's Chat.
Tomorrow night, I will not be doing a broadcast because I have Chancellor's Chat. For those who are not familiar with Chancellor's Chat, it's a chat room that I have been doing as Chancellor of WitchSchool.com and also Chancellor of the Correllian Tradition since 1998. Every Monday night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, I have done a chat room since 1998, which is a very long time. And I've seen some very interesting developments during that time. We've moved from a typed chat room to at one point a 3-dimensional chat room that was horrible, back to the typed chat room, and then now a video chat, which is, I think, far superior to all previous formats because it allows a far more immediate sense of communication. And I've always enjoyed the chat room, or I wouldn't have been doing it since 1998. But I enjoy it so much more when I can see the people I'm talking with, and we can have that sense that we're kind of all in the room together. So if you'd like to come to Chancellor's Chat tomorrow night, please feel free. You can find the invitation on my Facebook page, Rev Don Lewis. And then Tuesday, we will have another one of these broadcasts. And we will be talking about further inspirations of the Infinite Tarot and doing readings if people want them. And so I hope that you have enjoyed our little chat tonight. And until next time, may you blessed be. And remember, check out the Infinite Tarot at tarotai.com.